afternoon, whatever time it is that you are tuning in. This is Unapologetically Me, featuring me, no special guest, just me. Alright, so I've been making a video, working on a few, but I've actually been filming a video about the interview that Travis Scott just had with Charlamagne the God the other day. And while I was kind of disappointed by that, I was very disappointed by that interview, especially because Charlamagne the God is like the God. Like, he is fucking awesome. I have listened to The Breakfast Club for years. And he is just like, Donkey of the Day is like my favorite segment ever. Anyway, he's like super real, super like will say anything he feels. He does not care. And this is why I thought that this interview was going to be like, we were going to get answers. Like, we didn't get any answers. However, my purpose in putting out this video, because this is not the video that I was working on. In fact, like, I've been editing and everything, and it's just been taking forever to get it out because it's a ton of information, and I just... lots of pictures, videos, everything, and I do still want to put it out. But I wanted to say this first because it's definitely going to go into where I was going with that video. So in my video, it's basically going to piss a lot of people off because it's me saying that I do not think that Travis Scott is the sole person responsible, but I also don't feel that he is the main person responsible for the tragedy either. Hear me out, okay? I have done a lot of research on this. You have to trust me on that. A lot of research. I have watched the concert over probably since it happened, probably 15 hours I have spent, if not more, on researching this event and this tragedy. I have seen every video that is out there to see, whether I have deep dived on this baby. So I am confident that I have enough information to create the video that I'm about to create. Now, I know I made two in the past. This one is going to be a lot different because I actually am a lot better at editing than I was before. I will be able to actually show you what I am talking about. Whereas before I had to say it and then list in the description box where to find it. Which nobody wants to do the work of that. I mean, what's the point in that? But I'm sitting here right now, it's 10:30 at night, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, let me look a couple things up real quick. So, and I don't know why this didn't occur to me before, but I looked up his vendors. I looked up Live Nation and I looked up Scoremore. And let me tell you, the dirt that I found on Scoremore is pretty fucked up. That's the only words to describe it. Fucked up. There was an interview with an ex-employee in Rolling Stone, which I found. Excuse me. He did an interview like a little bit after Astroworld happened about some things that happened when he was working there for like the first 10 years that Scoremore was around. And it was a very small little business created by teenagers, and has grown since there. And now that Live Nation has some hold over them, you would think that they may have learned their lesson and gotten better, but they haven't. And I'm just going to read some things. I'm just going to pull my computer in front of me here because I usually keep it to the side of me so that I'm looking at you. I just wanted to read briefly part of their planning document for Astroworld. So they have had some shady things done in the past. They are not the best promoters and venue whatever you call them, they're not the best. In fact, they're probably one of the worst. They are known to half-ass shit. They are known to kind of fake it till you make it, and those are the exact words that this ex-employee used. They have run out of water at other events. They have had issues with barricades and fences being jumped at other events, not just Astroworld events either, other events. They have had issues where people were passing out and couldn't get water, and they were employees are driving all over town trying to get water. They had a lot of like security breaches. They are notorious for skimping on police presence and security and cutting costs basically wherever possible, even when it's dangerous to do so. And they are very poor at planning, to where they are basically to the last minute trying to figure shit out. And if it's not figured out by the time the event is starting, then they go without. So these are things that they are notorious for. Now, this was in a Rolling Stone magazine, and like I said, an ex-worker there, an ex-employee there, gave that interview. I will link that down in the description box in case you'd like to read it. I will also link this. Now, I am reading this. I just found this 10 minutes ago, and I am just like, what? See, I told you. Now, I know this isn't gonna change anybody's mind. If you want to blame Travis and you feel that Travis is responsible for this, then that's who you're going to blame, and that's how you feel, and that's okay. That's your prerogative, right? Okay, but I don't, and I don't like saying something without having facts behind it as to why I feel this way. Here are some facts that I found, besides everything else that I've been working on, that I found that support my decision to believe that he did not know any of this, and that he did not have the power to stop the show. Therefore, it is not his fault. So, all of his fault. Now, we all know his inciting crowds and rage and all of that. We know that those things can hold him accountable to a certain degree. But I am talking about the actual tragedy that happened. I do believe one thing's his fault. The tweet. And I'll get to that in my other video, but I just want to read this, and I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to make this short and sweet. Okay. The Astroworld promoter Scoremore. Okay, so we're talking about Scoremore here. There were the two venue promoters, the two professionals that he speaks about in his interview with Charlemagne Lagarde. He keeps saying, the professionals, these professionals, we trust the professionals. He's talking about Live Nation, and he's talking about Scoremore, okay? I'm sure legally he was not allowed to say too much. He was probably given some sort of script, which was why he kept saying the same stuff over and over and over again. I don't know. I'm guessing. I also think that is why we have not heard him say the words, I'm sorry. Because legally, when you say I'm sorry, you are admitting guilt. You are admitting all the guilt, that this is all your fault. And I promise you, this is not all his fault. I don't care what anybody says. I got facts to back it up. And if he were to say, I'm sorry, that's going to make it look a certain way. And the lawyer is probably telling him not to use those words. So you can show your remorse, but you cannot actually say those words. Not now. Not yet. So that's what I think is going on. I honestly think he cares. I do. I think he cares. But I think he's restricted right now. I think someone else is holding his tongue for him. So, an Astroworld planning document instructed staff to call dead concert goers Smurfs and not say dead or deceased over the radio. Okay, that is the title of this article. The Astroworld promoter Scoremore told staff to call dead fans Smurfs per a planning document. The document also instructs event staff members to never say dead or deceased over the radio. It also added to let event continue in the presence of unconfirmed bomb or terrorism threats. Now, one thing that was not in this planning document was what to do with a crowd surge. That's been something that has been talked about. Why was this not in here? Especially because it was an Astroworld show, and they have had issues with crowd surges at Astroworld shows. So why that wasn't actually in the planning document, nobody can quite figure out. But even during an unconfirmed bomb threat or terrorism threat, unconfirmed, yeah, okay, but it's still that's a big threat to still allow the event to continue. Staff members at the rapper Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival were told ahead of time to refer to any dead concert goers as Smurfs, according to an event planning document created by the concert organizers Scoremore. The event operations plan for the 2-day concert series at Energy Park in Houston instructed staff to never use the term dead or deceased over the radio. Instead, Scoremore told the concert staff to use the code word Smurf to describe concert goers thought to have died. A spokesperson for Houston's mayor's office said questions about the term Smurf should be referred to Scoremore. So basically, Houston mayor wants nothing to do with that at all. That is entirely on Scoremore. Scoremore and Live Nation did not immediately return requests for comment. Go figure, they're in a lawsuit. A source close to Scott told Insider, Travis's team is not involved in any venue security or emergency planning. The plan was created by a separate group entirely. Travis Scott and his team are not involved in any venue security or emergency planning. The planning document was first reported by CNN and was drafted before the concert was held. A later part of the document discussing bomb or terrorist threats said discreet evacuations should be carried out in any areas where suspicious activity was identified after the threat was received. That section included a black text box with a white lettering advising staff members in all caps. All efforts should be made to not panic the spectators. Let the event continue if threat is not in their area. Scott's performance turned deadly Friday as fans surged toward the stage, crushing spectators. 8 people, including 14-year-old and a pair of best friends, died in the crowd surge, authorities have said, and the story continues. But this right here that I just read to you, so they didn't have anything about crowd surges or anything like that, but they did have the terrorist threat and the bomb situation that they had. So basically the protocol would probably be the exact same thing, given that they didn't have a protocol for what actually happened, which in itself is really fucked up, and I can't believe that. But so they were to be discreet about it. They were not to panic anyone. They were not to say dead or deceased at all. And they were to not make any type of evacuation or not make any type of scene if it wasn't occurring in that area. So now we know from the Washington Post video, which is what I go off of on the video that I'm making right now, most of the fatalities and casualties happened in the South Quadrant. So because the other 3 quadrants were okay, nobody there knew. They never told anyone. They never told Travis. They never told his team. They discreetly evacuated the Smurfs. That's all I got for you right now. Like, subscribe, comment below what you think. Like I said, I'm gonna put this is on Yahoo News. Obviously it was a while ago, but I just came across it. I went looking, okay, because I don't like putting out fake news. I can't believe it. I can't believe what I just read. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, 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 yeah.